I'm at the Kyalami golf course. Another one of those difficult, underrated courses in Johannesburg. Very, very difficult to shoot your handicap here. The practice facilities are looking good. The greens are looking good. The course is dry. It is winter. That's understandable. It happens all the time. But I'm looking forward to a nice round and a great review. I'm at the Kyalami golf course. Another one of those difficult, underrated courses in Johannesburg. To tee off, experience, and share. So you got your own, post your own experience about how you're playing and how it looks like out there. Give us some thoughts. As you saw in the, well, at least on Facebook, you saw, but I did post on Instagram that I was at Kyalami Country Club yesterday. I regard it as one of the most underrated golf clubs in Johannesburg, maybe Gauteng. It is a very difficult golf course. It is hard, even for low handicappers. It is not an easy golf course. It is deceptive. It looks open and wide, no tall trees, not so much water around it. So it's deceptive. It looks like the kind of course that you can come in and conquer, even if you're a 12, a 13, a 15 handicapper. But it's not. I'm gonna tell you my story about yesterday because I pick on one hole that I want to review. It's hole number 3, par 3, hole number 3. It plays off 166 meters from the white tees, that for male uh, club tees. 166 meters on any given day is a giveaway to any golfer. I say even a battling golfer should conquer a 166-meter hole. In fact, we are given as golfers par 3s and par 5s to score, as amateur golfers or social golfers, whatever word you want to use. Pros have to score everywhere. We know there's this thing about you must score par 5s and par 3s. But the hole number 3 at Kyalami is a different hole. Firstly, the green is almost an island green. From the tee box, there is a bit of land of about, I would say about 70, 80 meters before the beginning of a lake. The lake ends right at the beginning of the green. So you have to carry, if the whole plays 166 meters, I argue you can't carry anything less than 160 to be on the green. If you're on 157, 158, you are in the water. That's it. That's it. So, and that water covers the entire front of the green to the entire left of it, even further left. So if you pull, like my friend Vrati did yesterday, he went into the water. He played a pool. He ended up in the water. So it doesn't work to pull a shot there. It doesn't help you though to slice a shot either, because to the right of the hole, you're out of bounds. You are into other public, private spaces of other people. These people who live in plots with their horses. Kyalami surrounded by horses. You can never be sure whether you in an estate of horses or playing golf. But they actually create a very great atmosphere around the course. I must say, those horses around in the Kyalami estate. So on the right, you are certainly going to be out of bounds. To the right of the green, if you cleared the water fairly well, you did not slice your shot, you're going to hit a bunker. If, like yesterday, the flag is on the front and you're in that bunker, danger. You're going to try and play the ball soft so that you just come out and be on the green and not miss the flag too much. I give you my word, you are likely to play a few bunker shots not coming out. You could try and force things out, and if you're not confident with your bunker shots, you're going to thin it and you're going to end up in the water again. Now, that's a disaster if that happened, because now amazing rules of golf come in and you don't want to get there, because if you did that, you may have to go and drop behind the water and come back onto the green again. Now, Pratemba got into the water and had to drop on the drop zone. It is not, it's normally when we get the drop zone, it's almost like, whew, at least I'm relieved, I'll score the hole. Now, from the drop zone, you still have a lot of work to do on that green. It is tough. It's a huge green. You know, frankly, we should not even miss it on the front. We should all aim for the end of the green and come back. But if we went long past the green, I call it wilderness. It is crap at the end of the green. It is just a wild area that you don't want to get into. So there's no relief really if you miss the green at the end of it. So I don't understand how this hole, which is by the way the signature hole of the course, this is on the scorecard. It is the signature hole that it plays as a stroke 11, as Americans would call it, a handicap 11 hole. It is not. I think they gave it a wrong stroke. In my view, and I compare it to hole number 1, which plays a par 4, 338 meters. At least that's what it played yesterday. 338 meters, and you gave it a stroke 9. And this hole yesterday played a stroke 11. It's not right. I think they could at least swap those two. Hole number 1 can be a stroke 11. It is not that difficult. It is slightly narrow, but it's a straight and forward hole. I mean, my other friend, mate I played with, Godfrey, drove that hole and was left with 70 meters in on hole number 1. So really, it is not that difficult. I always use an iron on hole number 1 because all I need is about 200 meters. Then I'm left with about 130, 140 meters in. I don't even need to use my driver. Now, what made hole 3 even more exciting, particularly yesterday, is that then we had the wind howling into us. In my view, it made the hole to play as perhaps 180, 185 meters, not the 166 on the card, because the wind was seriously howling and then playing over the water, and then with your nerves as an amateur golfer, all those things that come in. So here's the fun about what I saw yesterday. The 4th partner in the 4-ball, Soso Mokoka, my friend, pulled out a 3-wood. I reckon Soso plays a 3-wood about anything up to 230 meters, maybe on a bad day, 200 meters. He pulled out a 3-wood. We all laughed. In fact, I remember Brad T wanted to advise him not to use the 3-wood, and I said, no, you're not allowed to give advice to a golfer. And Soso committed to his 3-wood. Hey, guys, I knew that he's burying himself. Guess what? He was pretty much about 7 feet from the hole of that 3-wood, which was so strange for me for many reasons. 1, it was too much a club, even in the wind. 2, he played it fairly low. I mean, his trajectory normally is not that high. He doesn't have a trajectory like one of my friends. I mean, God, there's a guy, a friend of mine, KB Ramans. He's got trajectory on every club in his bag. He'll take a 3-wood and he'll play it as high as a sand wedge or a lob wedge. So, you know, Soso doesn't play it that way. His trajectory on his shots, I do not believe that he hits his shots far above 15 meters above the ground. So he hits a 3-wood at that trajectory. It pitches on the green. Normally, if you pitch a low lofted club onto the green, it's going to run. And for some strange reason, his ball stopped on that green about 7 feet from the hole. I knew it was his day when that happened. I mean, he was already destroying us. We had started So we were playing, the first nine on the peg. We had already played the peg nine. So I knew at that moment that Soso is going to destroy us. If he hits a 3-wood on that green on the third and ends up about 7 feet from the hole, how to wash up? Today, shelter and he did. We killed shelter one because it was just his day. I still don't know whether it was the right decision. I think there was a bit of luck too with that 3-wood stopping there. But as any else once said, 70% of golf is luck. He argues that all the professional golfers on tour are all talented and they can all win. On the day, you need 70% of the luck to win to beat everybody else. I think Soso got about 104% luck yesterday, slightly more than 70%. So history would work. I would never advise anyone to do that. But I can tell you this. Hole number 3 at stroke 11, I have seen people playing medal golf, which is called stroke play in official golf language, shooting more than 11 shots on that hole. It is so normal. It is not unusual. I know if I were to ask you to comment and tell me about that hole and tell me how you've experienced it, how you've played it, you will tell me how that hole can kill you. You can play the whole day very well and come die on hole number 3. It's a par 3. We should all be scoring there. At worst, we should make a bogey, which I did. I picked up a bogey. I pushed my ball to the right behind the bunker, tried to flop it with the flag where it was. There was no way of stopping the ball next to the flag. So the ball stopped, I don't know, about 4 meters from the hole. Had a crappy first part, and then I took my 4. Well, look, even if I was 4 feet from the hole, I would still have taken a 4. I played my worst round of golf yesterday, but that's got nothing to do with anything else. I'm here to review hole number 3, not my round. My round was horrific. So, I'll tell you this much. If you really want to test your nerves and your skill, you must give yourself a chance and play hole number 3 at Kyalami. At whatever handicap you play, it is not an average par 3. And I say that without mincing my words, without hesitation. I look forward to hearing from you about that hole next time, but I also look forward to hearing from you about wherever you play in golf. Let's share experiences. Tell us about what you see, what hole was tough, what hole was easy, the treatment you got at the club. We want to use this platform also to hold clubs accountable for the kind of service we get from them. Share experiences with caddies. Well, it's a bit tough now. Some courses are not using caddies because of COVID. We can't review clubhouses or change rooms or bars, because we everything is closed. You can only play golf, which, by the way, defeats the whole purpose of social golf, doesn't it? We play golf as an excuse to meet to hook up later on the 19th hole and spend more time on the 19th hole than on the golf course. Without the 19th hole, a bit of golf is gone. It is such a sad thing. But we are playing now, excuse me, hoping that they don't send us back to level 5, at least in Gauteng. Things have gone crazy. If they do, we're going to lose the golf. But while we can, please go play. Please go into 15th Club. Post on the timeline your experiences on the course. Let's all enjoy this. And, we're going to use this opportunity to also review clubs. I mean, I've been talking to a few manufacturers. I'll go play using a particular brand and I'll come back and tell you my review of it and how it plays. But sometimes I won't be the one reviewing it. Example, a manufacturer or a pro shop can give me a club to review. I could give it to a playmate who then give me their own review about the club. So it's not always going to be me. I'd like all of us to participate. KB, my friend I mentioned earlier, Ramansi, just commented now to say, so true. I've had mixed performances there. My brother, mixed is a very good thing on that hole. I know people who've only had crappy performances there. At least to have mixed is a great thing. That hole is tough, mate. And I know you're not an average golfer, although you don't like speaking down on your own golf. But mixed results, don't feel bad about yourself. I think I have. I mean, I've been playing golf for a while, and I've played Kyalami a few times. As in, I've played Kyalami about 20 times, maybe more. I think I only have one birdie on that hole, several pars, a lot of bogeys, and maybe one or two blowouts. and I don't blow out par threes easily. But that hole, when I walk onto that hole, I make peace with the blowout even before I tee off, which is a bad thing because then I lose before I lose. But yeah, yesterday I would have blown out that hole even if it was playing 62 meters. It was just not my day on the course. Uh, yeah, I went there just to donate money to my friends, and did they take the money? Every single one with private bets took my money, and the club with the club's money and stuff like that. But I shall recover after this pandemic. My golf is still caught up in level 5. It will come back soon. Trust me, it will. So I hope you like this. I hope you share it with more people. This is how it's going to happen now. I go play. The following day, I do the review on this platform and on Instagram because I'm doing it both on Instagram and Facebook. I'll take more pictures in the future. Yesterday, I was a bit rushed to the tee box. I didn't take enough pictures so that then it is not just my face that you see, but you also see how the course looked like on the day. Thank you to those of you who joined the very first one. I know it's not a lot of people who did. I also was a bit late. I must apologize that I was a bit late. We were supposed to go live at 12, but two things happened. Firstly, my laptop hung up, so I had to wait for it to reboot. It took a bit of a while. And then my professional producer insisted that the set must be professional. So he said, wait until I make sure that it looks good when you come out on air. And don't you think it looks good? So thank you, Fred. It looks excellent. I'm happy that we waited another hour to make sure that when I come out, I look good. Hey, Prachaf, you see, I gave you some pun there, my brother. I respect your work. I love your work. So I thought on the very first episode, I should recognize your foundation. I hope people can see the cap there, the Jeff Mabote Foundation. Well done, brother. Sorry, COVID now is throwing us out. I don't know when we'll play again, but I'm sure we'll find time. So tee off, experience, and share on 15th Club. We are on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you very much for tuning in. I will give you my next review soon. I hope it's a course that I'll have nice with. No, I didn't say anything bad about Kyalami, the club. I was just saying this hole is tough. I love Kyalami. It's a beautiful club, and I found that its members are very likable people. So dry, but it dries the dryness of winter, really. All courses are dry now. But the greens are still magnificent. They've got amazing greens, which I normally play well. Let me stop talking about myself. It was a terrible day yesterday. Thank you for watching. I shall see you again soon on this platform. Go enjoy.